Remember punching your first tree in the early versions of Minecraft? It was a simple game back then, yet it was fun. As the years went on, the game grew and evolved. With each update, some mechanics got improved, new ones were added. Meanwhile, the community also grew. Builds became mega builds. Farms got faster and more efficient, and redstone contraptions got more and more sophisticated. Development cannot be stopped. So, my Slimebug launcher now makes Kasploosh Splash when I get down, so I don't have to do the bouncy part on the slime or get my legs broken when I get impatient. If done correctly, I can now get into my cellar without getting delayed. To make it that the water won't spread, we just have to observe a piston that get one tick pulsed by another observer. The pushing and the pulling are two actions then, so two redstone pulses, and they are so fast that the water cannot spread even one block. That change doesn't come from nowhere. I'll probably use that launcher more frequently in the future, since there is the plan to build an obsidian generator down here, right next to the lava field. Going a little further, we will combine the generator with a Shulkerbox unloader, because one obsidian will cost one lava bucket and they don't stack at all. I know what you're thinking. Why not build a lava-free farm in the end dimension, or at least why not mine the obsidian pillars that are there? I have to say three things to that. First, there is a wither rose farm underneath the end portal at my world, and my wither dies without frequent care while the area is loaded. Second, mining the pillars does require enough brain power to keep your attention to the game, while it does not require enough brain power to be a fun activity. To keep it short, it's boring. And third, I like redstone, and that alone justifies building useless stuff. We start with the Shulkerbox unloader at the same floor as our lava field is, and then chuck the generator on the floor lower. That means we will have to break a hole in one of the already few decorated places of this world, but every act of creation begins with an act of destruction.
Okay, I like it, Picasso.
I guess everyone has seen a Shulker unloader by now, so let's make it fast. And done. Let's quickly try it out. I have a Shulkerbox with 30 redstone dust, and it should tick down into that barrel, and the large chest will be the storage for the empty Shulkerboxes. Okay, seems to have worked. Now that we have finished our obligatory Shulkerbox unloader, let's go one floor deeper. Well, that's what I'd like to say, but we need to first dig out that floor. So let's just dig in that direction, generally. That should be... yeah, that's... oh, yeah, okay. If you find a grumpy looking observer watching you, then you're correct. Let's add to the output of the unloader. So a barrel facing into a large double chest as an additional buffer facing into a dispenser. With one air block in between, we add a wall of any kind on the opposite side of the dispenser, and we make an observer observe that wall and add a piston on top of that. One more observer attached to the piston will complete the T flip-flop, and a block in between to power it. What's happening? What was that skeleton shooting at? Okay, anyways, let's place the water here, and then we can already create our first obsidian block, this time with our own hands, but that will change shortly. One thing that is still missing is a function that gets the emptied buckets out of the dispenser. We could build an item filter to prevent that, but instead we can just completely fill up the hopper with empty buckets, and we lock the hopper for the most time. And only when the system triggers, the hopper gets briefly unlocked and can suck out the bucket from above, and eventually can put its sucked out bucket into the chest that is connected to it. That already works quite well, and here is our first for obsidian. That means the core design of this farm, or better generator, is now done, and we can start with the decoration and hopper locking. Yeah, this is inside the area at which I care about the server lag, so let me finish up things fast and then we continue. Yeah, I just used the same texture I did on the lava farm for the Shulkerbox unloader. They are so close to each other. I guess that made sense. And also there is a little Shulkerbox station here, so we can fill our lava buckets with our newly created lava. We can put the lava in the Shulkerbox, and if the Shulkerbox would be full, then we can destroy it with this button, which is a little bit dangerous because you can lose the Shulkerbox by doing that. That never happened before. Okay, I found it. It's down here at the Iron Farm. That seems to have broken too. Yeah, it seems like the chest minecarts are not delivered here anymore. Ah, what a mess. Yeah, I'll leave it as that for now. Revision needs to be done. Oh man. Why do I have 2 carpets too many? Good. Okay, 1 floor deeper, we used the same texture as we did above. And we have a little circuit here, a little piston door that gives us access to our farm here. It is a little bit slow, but it's actually just a byproduct for the hopper locking. If the hoppers are locked, then the door is closed, and if the hoppers are unlocked, then the door is open. Another little change, I got rid of the chest here on the side. Instead it's now on the ground, and it holds the obsidian and the buckets at the same time. This farm indeed can also work without the Shulkerbox on louder above. You can access that large chest here from the side, and you can manually fill it up with lava buckets. For small amounts of obsidian, that already might suffice. One thing that I realized while making the decoration, I need a mud farm. Yeah, just a little bit of mud in the walls, some for mud bricks, no problem at all. That can be done by hand. No, it cannot. That was awful. It's like scroll to bottle, right click, scroll to shovel, left click, right click, scroll to bottle. You made a mistake? Oh, too bad. Let's try it again. The first farm idea that came into my mind was one that utilizes the dual wielding mechanics, meaning you have a shovel in your main hand and the dirt in the offhand, have an observer triggering a dispenser full with water bottles, converting the dirt into mud, and simultaneously shoveling away the converted mud. And that first design, my first try, was quite fast, a little bit messy, but it worked. But then I thought, it has been so long since I thought about adding ghasts into farms. Why not try it now? So the first step would be to get a ghast into the overworld, and I think the wiki might be a good spot to start the research at. Oh, there it is. Get a ghast into the overworld. Okay, use a fishing rod, percussor ability. Yeah, fireballs can bounce off walls, already knew that. Okay, win if close to portal block, that's also good to know. Anything else here? No, the rest is just basic stuff, we can handle it without it. I already started the game, so let's just unpause and continue. Okay, controls are a little bit janky. But now I think... Okay, that was close, but for me right now... Yeah, easy. Okay. Now I got a ghast into the overworld. But I not only want a ghast in the overworld within the game Ghast Invader, I also want it in my Let's Play world. So let's take the things we just saw in 2D and try them in 3D. Yeah, I guess this would happen if I tried to catch a ghast, reel it into a portal with a fishing rod. Let's not do that. What else can we do? Oh, I'm a redstoner, yeah. You know, I always wonder about other YouTubers making time-lapse, and I do one and then I'm like, yeah, okay, since you saw the time-lapse, things have changed, the order of the pistons here, and there was an error here up there with the redstone block that got changed, and everything got changed, and I think I'm just bad at planning ahead. But how does this thing work anyways? What is this? Well, down here we have a spawning platform for ghasts, a very small one. And when a ghast spawns, it touches the string here that gets detected by the observer. And with a little bit of redstone magic, 2 minecarts will be dispensed. Like if I jump up here. Yeah. Oh, and the pistons here get pushed up, so no further ghasts can spawn. That means exactly 1 ghast will be caught with the system, and after that it shuts itself down by itself, because we only need 1 ghast, obviously. While all the stuff, the spawning, the catching, and the transportation of the ghast happens, we stand up there at the AFK platform. And we want to know that something down here happened, and because of that we use this trapdoor to trigger a scaffolding update, and we send that right up to where we are. And that, by the way, looks something like this. So, let's just AFK here for a couple of minutes and see what happens. And we got one. And here we have our first ghast, and hopefully the only one that we need. And now you can also see why there were these glass blocks, because they can obstruct the sight of the ghast and you can just do everything you want with it. It won't attack you. Now everything that's left is to get that ghast into the overworld. The furnace minecart should then... Come on! Go! Let's just try something, I guess. Next try, I guess. Let's try that again. Finally! Turns out, if you do things the correct way, then they actually work. Now we could use this ghast now for farming purposes, but there is a sound effect that I really like. I guess let's just skip to me having a ghast again. The part that is done in the nether is just a simple routine by now, and I really want to build that farm already. Okay, I'm not sure, but it looks like... Oh no, it's not correctly pushed against the block. No, I made a mistake again. Yeah, see the stone brick block there that the ghast has in its mouth? I shouldn't be able to see that. So, this is the final product, this is the finished farm. There was so much back and forth while building that I decided to not include the building process. Well then, let's go right in the house here, and you may think that the ghast now would shoot at us, but there is a piston here that is extended and it holds up a glass block right in front of the eyesight of the ghast, so we're safe here until we step on the string here. Well, not quite true, because saying that we wouldn't be safe if we step on here, that would be not quite right. The fireballs can never hit us, because they get sucked down by this magma block here, and then they instead hit the mud block wall here that we now placed ourselves, but that will be done by the machine eventually. Well, there are 2 blocks left over after the fireball. Even if a fireball does not hit all of the blocks, it's okay, they get destroyed eventually. As you probably hear, this farm is very loud, but it's okay because I can tune the volume down a little. So, as you can see, you just stand here at the tripwire, as centered as possible, and then you place your blocks, your dirt blocks, right at the chiseled stone. Yeah, the repeater is a little bit weird in the way, but there was no other way to send power there, and I think it's not too bad. And here we have our new mud. That's way better than standing in a puddle and doing it manually. I guess most of the farm is rather self-explanatory. Just one thing I want to add is that we use the same technique as we did in the lava farm. That is that the water bottles will not get sucked out of the dispenser by the hopper here. That only happens when the water inside the glass bottle is used on the dirt and an empty glass bottle remains. Yeah, okay, in the lava farm we have this hopper locked most of the time. Here that is not necessary because the hopper faces into this dispenser and that is also completely filled up with glass bottles. One last thing before I end this episode. There was a book, a certain book that I'd introduced it in, what episode was it? I can't remember. But that book was meant to hold all the comments from episode 0 to... Well, that's the thing, I haven't said how long I would keep it. And I guess it's time. So, 10 episodes in total, from episode 0 to 9. All the comments are written in this book, it's 40 pages long, and all I can say is thank you for commenting so far in the past, and also for the comments in the future, for the likes you gave, for the hours you watched. Is it hours by now? Yeah, it should be, yeah. Okay, so, finally, the unchangeable title of this book. Okay, I have to admit I haven't thought that far. Let's just Google something. Yeah, okay, that sounds nice. Let's take that. Yeah, that is it. I will find a better place for it eventually, but for now, let's keep it here, in the library. So, that was me, Nikushin. Hope to see you next time too, and even if it's a little late, frohes neues Jahr!